Hi, hello, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Maddie Bloom and I'm a multi-genre author. And if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. It means the world to me. Welcome to a week in my life. Today is Saturday and I'm super excited. I'm going to go to the Boulder County Farmers Market and then also to Longmont Pride since it is June. So that will be a lot of fun. And then other big events this week, I'm going to VE Schwab's release party down in Denver for Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, and will be meeting some people from my writing Discord, or not meeting, well, I've met them all already, but we're just gonna go together, so that'll be fun. Those are the big events I've got going on, and then also this week in terms of writing, I'm working on my short story and starting research for my next novel. So yeah, let's just jump on in. Happy Monday. Oh, it is hot. Happy Monday. It's hot. I am about to head down to Denver where I'm going to have like a mini writing retreat with some people from my writing Discord. And then we're going to VE Schwab's book release event for Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Whew. So I'm very excited. Let's start driving so I can get the air conditioning turned on.
They've just killed a lot of people. That seems very relevant. They've just killed 5 or 6 people. They're in those people's house and they're drinking and playing music and having a good time. Okay. Renata grins and rises, drawing Sabine with her. The room rocks and tilts, the heady mix of blood and liquor buzzing through her, but Renata keeps her on her feet. Hector has taken up his melancholy song again, but she insists on something cheerful. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was special. When they first told me about that, I was like, I don't like that. I don't even like.
Hello. It's Tuesday. My fun weekend is officially over, and now we are in the second half of the week. So I just wanted to sit down, chat about everything that I did, and especially about the VE Schwab event that I attended yesterday on Monday because it was incredible. I'm really happy that I went and had that experience, and I'm super happy that I went and had that experience. And then I did pick up some books as well from my local bookstore because I didn't film it, and I should have. And I had gone in with the intention of getting a journal for my next novel to start taking research notes and things like that. But they only had like pale lavender, which just does not fit the vibe for what I want to do. So I think I'm going to have to go to like Office Depot or something later this week to get a journal and some more pens because I'm down to 1 pen and it's slowly dying, which is always sad. I go through so many pens. Anyways, Saturday I went to the Longmont Farmers Market and Longmont Pride, and those were both so much fun, and I got to see MJ, and they said that they had a really successful event at Pride selling a lot of books, so that is awesome, and I'm so happy for them, and it was really cool. There were a lot of vendors. I did not know what to expect, but yeah, there were so many vendors and so many people there, so that was great, and I'm super happy that that event went well for them. And then yesterday, I went down to Denver and attended V.E. Schwab's midnight release party for Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. It was incredible. Me and writers from our Rocky Mountain Writers Guild Discord group, we went down to Denver and we met at this cute little coffee shop before with the intention of writing, but we actually just like chatted and yapped the whole time. But it was a lot of fun and it was really great to just like socialize. And then we went to the church where the party was and we had a blast, and it was super impactful and kind of life changing hearing Schwab talk about her journey with writing and authenticity in art, and just different things she talked about really hit home with me, and especially like in this kind of transitioning time I'm in career-wise, where I just shelved a a big project that I'd been working on for the better part of a year and am trying to pivot. And she had talked about like always trying to stay one step ahead of failure, so you're always like adapting and changing and moving and jumping, and I just felt quite called out. I'm not going to unshelve my work in progress, but I was just it did hit hard, and I mean, I have not been marketing This Cruel Fate as well as I should have and things like that. So it just like made me take stock, like what do I want and how am I going to achieve those goals? So I'm going to I just have to do the things, and that means I have to market This Cruel Fate, and I have to keep working and thank you. I have to keep working and making those goals a reality. And I can't just like keep hopping around. I have to stay there and keep working at it. But this edition is beautiful. It's signed, but it's also stamped with the tour of 2025, so it just made it extra special. And the whole event was really special as well, because when I got the tickets, I thought it was just going to be the book signed and then listening to Schwab speak. But we got roses. We got this little bag with some goodies. It was just a lot of fun. By this point, I will have played all the footage I took. So hopefully you can get like an idea. The church was really beautiful and the perfect setting to talk about this like vampire novel. And she read a short passage from the book and talked a lot about the inspiration and just like the intention with which she writes was really inspiring as well, and something that I want to make sure I'm bringing to each project that I'm working on as well. So yeah, really inspiring, really great. And I'm very excited to read the book as well, which leads me to all the other books that I recently bought. When I went to the bookstore, again, with the intention of just buying one single journal, and I didn't buy a journal at all. I picked up Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. I have not read a Dostoevsky novel, and I want to change that. I am kind of in my classic lit era, even though I kind of had been in my American lit, but we're expanding countries slowly but surely. And I had seen a quote from Crime and Punishment, and I believe the quote is, "And your worst crime is that you have betrayed and destroyed yourself for nothing." And that's just like a bar. And that shows how easily influenced I will buy a whole book for one quote. Crime and Punishment is on my TBR now. The next book I got was The Stranger by Albert Camus. I just finished The Myth of Sisyphus, which is not a novel. It is a collection of essays about Camus' existentialism, and he posited that people are just like going through life and going through the motions, but the moment you become aware that everything you're doing doesn't matter and there is no higher power, like there is no inherent meaning to life. The only logical step would be to commit suicide, but you can't do that and you have to take charge and create your own meaning in life. So existentialism, but Camus talks about like the absurd man, like the absurdity of that life of being aware but still choosing to live in spite of the meaninglessness. And I thought it was incredible. The Stranger is a fiction novel, though he still uses that idea of the absurd man. So I think it's still going to be very philosophical, which I love. So this is also on my TBR. And then I had to get a replacement copy of The Secret History by Donna Tartt because mine got damaged. I'm so sad, especially because this printing has a purple background and I hate it. Like, 'cause it's so neutral, and then it's just like this bright purple. And my copy, it was like just a black and white image, like not quite so creamy as this, a little darker. But I hate this purple, but that's okay. I have a new copy that is not damaged and I can re-mark it up because I do plan on a reread sometime this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, though I do have quite the list of books. And I don't know if you can see my TBR cart has 60 books on it. And I just keep getting books, but those are my 4 new books, and my third read is Martyr. This is a lit fic, and it follows a young man, I think he's like my age probably, Cyrus, and he is kind of listless. He's kind of unlikable, but I think it's partially because like he knows and I know what he should be doing with his life and he's not doing them, and then there's some of that like seeing that reflected back, like looking at, well, I want these things, but I'm not always doing all the steps I should be taking. So I think some of that is like seeing that in action and seeing the like, you can get what you want, you just have to do it. But essentially, he wants to find meaning in death, which I think is such a great parallel to like Albert Camus' writing, where it's like existentialism is finding meaning in life without like a higher power or an inherent there's no inherent meaning to life. But Cyrus in the novel is concerned with what does making your death mean. And so he is going to write about martyrs, hence the title. I don't want to give away more than that. There is a lot more going on. There's a lot more going on as well, but I kind of have been going into books blind and not looking them up on Storygraph or Goodreads beforehand. And I like that a lot more, especially because I'm not going into it with people's opinions already, because I think I love social media and I love, everything that it's done for me and like the community that I've built and like having these outlets of self-expression. However, sometimes it is easy to like fill your brain up with everybody else's thoughts. And then when it's time for you to like engage with something, you're already coming into it with biases. And so I have seen people recommend it, but not like I haven't spoiled it for myself or read in-depth reviews. So I'm really enjoying that. And I think if you like a more philosophical, lit fic contemporary read, you will enjoy this as well. So that's been my week so far. For the rest of this week, it's going to be a lot more relaxed and chill and spent writing, which I'm working on a short story. And the short story has to be about prophecies and omens, and it has a word count of 12,000 words. So I am writing a fantasy novel, or not novel, I'm writing a fantasy story. And I really wanted to use this opportunity to practice a more atmospheric style of writing. And the first draft ended up being a little bit more like folkloric, which I really love. And I have the rough draft, I have the story beats listed as well, and I've kind of adapted the Save the Cat beat sheet for this as well because it is a little bit more condensed. So now I'm going to be working on a draft for beta readers. So I'm going to do 2 sprints tonight, and then tomorrow I'll be running the Rocky Mountain Writers Guild Discord, so we'll do about like 2 or 3 sprints. And then Thursday, I have my live stream where I'll be running productivity sprints, and I'll probably do 3. And then Friday, MJ has their sprints, and I'll be joining, and they usually do like 2 to 3 as well. So I'm going to be writing every day this week, which is great. I've kind of gotten out of the habit of writing regularly, especially with project changes and stuff. So we are just building back the routine of writing. And with these sprints this week, I'm not necessarily as worried about hitting a certain word count goal as I am about the quality of words I'm putting down, since I already have the rough draft. I have the story, and now it's about how it's going to sound and how it's going to be built and shared. So that's my goal for this week. Hello. What is today? Even Wednesday. So tonight is sprints with my writing Discord. I wrote yesterday and I got my 2 sprints in, and I realize that I'm just kind of having a creative block right now, just very like insecure about everything, and just having this feeling of like, what if this book was the only thing that I can write? And obviously that is not true, but sometimes that voice is loud. So I'm just trying to really get into the zone and just allowing myself to create a story and not trying to nitpick at everything. I will get feedback and then I can fix things from there. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. And what does perfect even mean, anyways? So that is just kind of where I'm at. And I'm really glad I'm working on a short story right now rather than a full length novel, as I kind of transition from my work in progress to my next novel, just to kind of get out of my head a little bit and reorient, realign, and all of that. I put my hair in a braid, but it's like slowly falling out, so I don't know what's going on with that. Anyways, we're gonna start some sprints.
when a certain person canceled her scripts, I took it as an opportunity to read and ended up reading like 150 pages in a book, which was fun. And sometimes the person did, but I also love scribbing. So, hoping to get some more written during the sprints.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have made it this far, I really appreciate it. I'm glad to have you here. If you want to keep up with everything that I'm working on and this documentation of my life, consider subscribing to my channel, giving this video a thumbs up, or leaving a comment down below, but of course you do not have to. I have all of my social links in the description. My Substack is in the description and Ko-Fi as well. But yeah, I think that's all I have for this week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a fantastic day.